Good afternoon from India. Today is 24th of March 2024, and today happens to be a festival in India here called the Holi. Uh, it's a it's a festival of colors where people apply colors to their friends, families, and even people they've never met before. Whosoever comes in front, put some colors onto them. And today I intended to broadcast this little mother spitting spider, which has been carrying its clutch of eggs for about now 23. Today is the 24th day of the same. So this is a Scytodes, the spitting spider, and it it's carrying its clutch of eggs. I'll try to get it in focus. Here it is. There are about 25 of them I could make out, but it's not very sure. Now, let's look at the remarkable characteristics of this particular spider. You see, the head and the thorax have become one in the form of what we call the cephalothorax. The abdomen is a large entity like a bag, and it's got four pairs of legs. Unfortunately, one leg of the right flank, no, it's there. I was afraid it had broken one. The color is somewhat yellowish golden and is translucent in appearance. This entire organism looks like a blob of jelly, and this ochre yellowish golden hue is very typical. And these markings that you see, these little black spots on the face, they are its characteristics. Now, it's moving a bit. Let's just see to it. You can notice that clutch of eggs, it's a cluster which is in the form of a rounded ball held together by the spider's silk, and it carries under its thorax. Well, the magnification is a little high, so even little jerks in my hand become a big shake for you to see. But just for the sake of it, it's about 8 times magnified. Rather, since I've magnified it more, it's around 12 times magnified. So it gives us a good understanding of its morphology as such. One very peculiar feature about this particular species is that the structure of the alignment of the head and thorax is like a very sad looking depression, which is like a pyramid. The head in itself is pyramidal shape. Okay, now we have a good view of its abdomen. Let me bring it a bit more zoomed in. You see those little markings of black dots? These also are pretty characteristic of these Scytodes, that is the spitting spider. Now, you can see it's aberrant in its movement for two basic reasons. Number one, it's carrying a good mass under its legs. And second, the surface, the walls, they don't provide much adherence. They are plastic and smooth, and unless there is a degree of web around, it finds it pretty difficult to climb. There you see, on this bluish part, there is some degree of web which allows it some anchorage points. The eggs are heavily matured now, very matured, and I expect the eggs to hatch within another 3-4 days, I guess now. It's planning a little release. Okay, let's zoom back. This is the normal magnification, but it doesn't allow much of a view. So a high magnification is preferred. I don't intend to disturb the animal much, hence I won't be touching it unless it's very necessary. Very necessary only to put it back in the box, its enclosure. So apparently it's a very different looking spider, a very spread out, sort of unorganized. And you can see that the abdomen now in apparently look forms like a web, sorry, a pyramid shape. The confluence of the abdomen and the cephalothorax, they form like a mountain. I'll adjust the light a bit. Perhaps we can get a better view this way. Yeah. So, a few things to discuss about the spider here. This particular specimen had laid these eggs on the 1st of March, that is 23 days prior to today, and has been carrying them ever since. It has not accepted any food, though a few fruit flies and drain flies were offered, but doesn't seem to have cared much in eating them. I plan to supply it with a silverfish, which is one of its favorite food items, but unfortunately, I haven't found any yet. So, this spider, this is its second clutch while it has been staying with me. The first clutch was delivered on the 1st or 2nd of December 2023, which hatched on Christmas, that is 25th or 26th rather, just beyond Christmas. So it took around 3 weeks and 4 days for the eggs to hatch. Now, here again, we have finished about 3 weeks. So I'm quite optimistic that the eggs would be hatching any day soon. And I can already see a differentiation of the color and texture of the eggs and the supporting web. See those eggs, they have now taken more rustic color. They were initially pearly white. Now they have blotches, and these colors, these the bodies of the young ones are apparent here now. You can make out the legs, you can make out the body proper, and they're all clustered together. Last time it was 5 eggs which had hatched properly. I had 5 offsprings, which I released later on, and one or two had died within the eggs. Their bodies were still attached. This time I believe there will be a larger number of offsprings, so apparently this is going to be a more better yield this time. The spider has done a good job. So we won't disturb it much. It's a very busy and a very careful spider, very concerned spider. I don't intend to give it any sort of trauma, mental, physical, or any otherwise. So, before I end, just a few more things I would like to bring to your notice. This is the web, the silk of the spider it had been throwing around. It doesn't build a proper web like many other spiders typically do, but it just sticks around a few haphazard wires, and then these wires they provide it a support system to crawl upon, and its uniqueness lies in the fact, being a spitting spider, its uniqueness lies in the fact that it has the capability of mixing the venom with the saliva and regurgitate it, rather spit it over to unsuspecting prey, and then The prey is overpowered once it is stuck up in the meshwork of that sticky mass. So here is it. Here it is, the Scytodes thoracica, the spitting spider. You can now see a top view. The head is quite large. The head and thorax combined are quite large. The abdomen has shrunk. Initially, just before laying eggs, it had grown larger than the heads and the cephalothoracic mass combined, and it had attained a very stark purplish bluish color, which still it has retained to certain degree, but then that shininess is gone, the tautness is gone, that typical feature of its being filled up with eggs is gone, and I was scared whether there was some sort of infection in the spider. Another feature of the spider here is that it has three pairs of eyes, that is, six eyes. So that's a unique feature about this particular spitting spider. And these eggs, I believe, shall be hatching in another 2-3 days now. So I hope we have a good family growth this time. So we bid the spider a goodbye and leave it in its own peaceful motherhood. Thank you for joining this streaming. I shall share the videos and photographs once the eggs hatch. Over and out.